Yeah, look at that. Let's see if I can zoom in for you. Look at all this. That's a magnet catch material. All over this. I mean, that comes off. It's a magnet, but I mean, I'll turn it sideways, make it easier for me. Anyway, this means I'm gonna have to swap this transmission out. Look at all that. I mean, that's caked up on there. Now the filter, it's got a shit on the back of it. So that means this transmission was on its way out. You see that's full of whatever that is. Cause painful back. I mean, if it was just no material, it would be similar to that right there, but just a purple color, not you look at it, see, get light out of it. Over in this area, over in that area, well, never mind, it was the angle it was at, yeah. I thought that was just a little flip. No, that whole thing has sucked up so much material. And that's all clutch material is what that is. So, they must have upgraded. Different style. Let's see. It's supposed to be deep pan. Deep pan. Oh, that one's just a little bit deeper, it seems. Which is, well, no. That's the same. That's the same height there. This is just thicker than that one. See, that actually, I don't know if anybody ever knows this, but that right there, this actually sits flush, literally touching the pan, and your fluid, that's all the, let's see if I can make this, hold on. Nah, that ain't gonna work. Let's see, we'll do it this way. Alright, but literally, even though it's in the pan sits flush with it, just like that. That little tiny gap, which is the height of them little feet, is all the fluid, that's all the room that it's got for the fluid to flow through. So if you have, let's say, how do I explain this? If you have a bunch of clutch material or trash or something like that in there, and it all builds up to the bottom, it's built up higher than that right there, your filter can't pick up, the pump won't pick it up into the torque converter and flow it through your transmission. So, yeah. all that clutch material is probably the reason reverse went out in it. But see, my son drove it and it messed up. You could drive it for a little bit, it would stop pulling, shut it off, let it sit, crank it back up, put it in gear, and it'd drive on a little bit because all that shit needed to be changed. So I changed it. And whether he got me the right fluid or not that goes in there, I don't know. I mean, it don't matter. Because once I got it back together and all that, the reverse started going and catch and then back up, and then all of a sudden it quit. I don't know if it was the right fluid that he got me when he went and bought the filter and everything, but because wrong filter will cause it to eat at them clutches. I mean, wrong fluid will cause it to eat on them clutches, and that's what you get. That's why they have certain fluids for certain cars, certain transmissions. Well, hope y'all like my little redneck. Look at that. That way I know I got something level to roll on. Slide it around on, in and out, and makes everything almost like a concrete floor. Smooth, easy to roll, and all that stuff. Because I'm poor, I don't have a lift, I don't have a garage. I'm using a jack that I got for free, couple jack stands, and here's what tools that I got. I do have my electric ratchet. See, I don't even have a proper drain pan. That's one of them Rubbermaids from like Dollar General shit cut down. But anyway, now I'm fixing to throw this pan back on it, and that way, let's see, look, here's the other one. It's a used one, but this one was good. This one was good, and I didn't know till I took it out. I thought it went out on me, but when I went to drop it, and I dropped that pan, only like 2-3 quarts of fluid come out. Well, once I got it out and started investigating, after I done bought my new one, on the torque converter that I had, see how they weld these snouts on? The other one had a big, like a big one, the size of a tip of a key, and when that slides in, your seal rides back in here. If you'll look and see, you can see where the seal rides. Okay, now if you got a big ass, like this big, like that big around, standing way up right here, it was the point I'm getting at is it was pushing into this seal, pushing that, breaking that so it doesn't seal right as it spins around, and as you're driving down the road, or it's running, whatever. Hell, even if it's just sitting still, not running, it's pressing on it, because there's constantly fluid going in and out of that. Whether it's running or not, that's why when you pull a torque converter, shit comes out of here and all that, especially if you don't drain it first. Well, it was pushing on that seal like my finger is, and it was riding around like that, constantly breaking that seal. But the point I'm getting at is when I dropped it, I saw that transmission fluid was coming out of this, dribbling down. I know it looks like I'm going up, but transmission's upside down. I do it this way. But anyway, it was leaking and it was dribbling down and coming down the bell housing. When I pulled everything out, like I said, after I done bought a transmission, I noticed that it had that trickle where it come down. I drove it for like 6 hours. It wasn't a stupid, hard, bad leak, but if I drove it for 6 hours and I filled it up and it run out, then that means it had to been leaking. It's leaking too much to just leave it in anyway. But I thought it was a bad seal, but it wasn't. That one's nice, soft. It's not dried out. It was that damn, I don't even have that torque converter no more, but it had a ball that weld, like somebody just sat there and built up just let it build up, and it was literally sticking out enough to hit that seal as it spun around. So, but this one I got for, dude said $200 the best offer. I said, hey, I'm in Irondale. He was in Montevallo, Alabama. So I said, hey, if you'll hold it for me, I'm getting in the truck now. I said, if you hold it for me, I'll give you $250 for it. He held it. I gave him $250. I've been driving it for about a year now with that transmission in it, and done put about 34,000 miles on it. I mean, it still shifted out. It had all the gears forward. It didn't have reverse. The front ones was starting to slip just a little bit, but that could be from all that material getting in your sensors right there. All that material getting in your sensors. Because this sensor up here at the end of it has a small metal screen for fluid to flow through. Your fluid flows through all these right here. This right here has a screen in the end of it. I got to put that in. I got one for that. I got to put that in. This one has a screen at the end of it for the fluid to flow through, and if they're clogged with material, it won't allow the fluid to flow through, and it won't allow it to catch the gears. So I could probably just clean this one up, throw that new filter in there with the right transmission fluid. I would have to go through and clean it up with brake clean, all that stuff, whatnot, so forth, so on. But I could clean it up possibly and get it all working back right again. Because if they had trash in there in these, because that's your 1, 2, 3, 4 shift sensor. Oh, wait a minute. That's your 1, 2 shift, 3, 4 shift. Now the reverse, I want to say, I don't know shit about transmissions. I don't know how to build them. I'd have to look it up, but I want to say either here or here. If that's 1, 2, 3, 4, I want, cause see, there's if you look, move that way, so look, that's part of it. Is when it runs up that way, and then you got, if you look right there, see, it runs up there. There's that right there. Activates. I could have it backwards since it's upside down. This could be the reverse, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So I probably on that one could just pull this plate off, pull that valve out, and see what it is. And I might do that just in case, And if that's what it is a dirty one, I will, instead of scrapping it, I will put it all back together. And then when something happens to this, or if something happens to this, I'll have that one. Because literally, like I said, if you got trash in the end of them things, in the end where that, matter of fact, when I get ready to, I got to put this one in. I will video this, but let me get this exhaust off and all that. Get this pan on, get this exhaust off. So let me get that pan on, get all that exhaust off of there, starter, all that, and I'll be back.